Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. Last time we explored space, and this time we will continue exploring space. There's less and less space left to explore though. From what I've seen, I think we have 2 assignments left to do. Which means that since we only have 1 probe left, I need to buy more probes. But just a bit. And we did not finish exploring the Vollis system of Zedeck. Not sure why we explored this one, but let's reread it once again for completion's sake. Zedeck is a large, dense planet named for a Vollis god of punishment. Its crust is rich in uranium, eroded by winds to create large radioactive dust storms across its surface. The Vollis of Talasphia have explored the planet thoroughly with space probes and telepresent robo-mining machines, and discovered they are not the first to exploit the planet. Plastics from a mining station approximately 50,000 years old can be found near the planet's equator. Curiously, the mines nearby were not tapped out of uranium ore. They were instead abandoned at the height of their operation. Founded 2154, population 22,000 and a half. In orbital stations. Capital none, largest station is Dolo Station. So yeah, Talasphia is the planet where Vollis colonized it in the other star system. And interesting that something happened 50,000 years ago. Potentially Reapers? Quite likely. Alright, so orbital period, radius, day length. No atmosphere. Interesting. But then, how do you have dust storms if you don't have atmosphere? Eroded by winds. How do you have winds if you don't have atmosphere? That sounds weird. And quite warm. And high gravity. Avarice. A unique discovery, Avarice is a heavenly twin. A planet in a star system that has not 1, but 2 worlds of sufficient mass to retain a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere within the habitable life zone of its parent star. Fossil evidence shows abundant vertebrates and evidence of a sapient terrestrial avian species in its Bronze Age. However, the only trace of contemporary life on the planet is that of single-celled organisms in its seas. All else has suffered from an extinction event, a series of massive impacts that vaporized vast quantities of water and lofted dust into its atmosphere. Early theories that this event was a collision with a fragmenting asteroid have now been discounted. The impact craters were aimed directly at habitation centers. Avian species, you say? Well, that's something to keep in mind. But why in their Bronze Age would... Well, if this was an attack by the Reapers, why would they attack species that is in Bronze Age? If they're not spacefaring yet, then there's no point in reaping. Maybe they were almost somehow considered to be very rapidly developing, maybe? And that they would reach the ability to be spacefaring sooner than expected? Tosyl the sister tragedy to the extinction event on Avarice, Tosyl was the rarest of jewels. A second garden planet within the same life zone as Avarice. Not as old as its sister planet, its fossil evidence indicates it was home to abundant invertebrate sea life. However, similar craters to those on Avarice created a dust shroud that killed 99% of biota on the planet. The even spacing of the craters indicates a coordinated, simultaneous attack from points around the globe, rather than an asteroid collision or supervolcanic scenario. That is even weirder. There was no sapient life there. Mysterious. And yeah, it seems quite habitable. The length is rather short, pressure is a bit high, gravity is a bit high, but temperature is good. Size is good too. Let's buy 5 more probes. And we have Vam Oska. A Jovian gas giant, Vam Oska, Weeping Witness, in Hyperion Vollis, is a low-density hydrogen-helium planet with 35 moons. Later this year, 33 of the moons will be visible from the planet's surface in a conjunction, an event that will be recorded by space probes from all over the galaxy. Yeah. So, instead of having stars align, it is having moons align. I guess that still is significant. So, next up, we have the Crescent Nebula, with Ilium in it. Let's go there first. Are there any other places that I need to explore, or is it just around Ilium? Yeah, I'm missing something in one star system. That's weird. And there's another star system out there. Okay. I think I mined the place and then it's like I got everything and then decided not to do anything further. I don't know. Zedeck. A common methane ammonia gas giant, Zedeck is best known for the infamous Calthor camp. Established on the ice moon of Gessis, Calthor was a Blue Sun's hostile environment training facility, run by a cadre of former Batarian Special Intervention Unit operators. In 2168, a cluster-wide scandal broke out when it was revealed that the mortality rate of recruits sent to the camp might be as high as 18%. Investigation by Asari authorities based on Ilium uncovered group graves around the facility containing the remains of several hundred recruits, dating back 2 decades. The camp was immediately closed, and the remains sent back to their worlds of origin. An inquest by the Blue Suns found the Batarian commandos had used harsh training methods, but these were consistent with their own training to join the SIU. The Batarians were exonerated, though Calthor was shut down, and they were reassigned to other units. As the Crescent Nebula is beyond the sphere of Council law, no civil charges could be filed against the Blue Suns. Well, that's Batarians for you. And then we have Zelene. A lot more to explore than you would have thought from that percentage. Tidally locked to the star Zelene, Nepean has the expected hot pole and cold pole. Along the Terminator is a thin band of nearly habitable terrain. Unfortunately, the local biosphere is based on a chlorinated oxygen atmosphere. It's not sophisticated, but it has proven highly dangerous. The Asari surveyor Vorleon landed on Nepean in 1684 to study the local ecology. Unbeknownst to the crew, a handful of native chlorine-fixing microbes passed through the biohazard screening and entered the ship. The Vorleon returned to the port of Nos Pernallo on Ilium, where the Nepean microbes escaped into a temperate environment with plentiful unused chlorine. missing L. The microbes devoured the chlorides in the earth. As metabolic byproducts, they produce toxic polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. By the time the infestation was contained, an area of nearly 30 square kilometers had been effectively turned into a toxic waste dump. Nos Pernalo had to be abandoned, accelerating the development of Nos Astra. Interesting link to PCBs, indeed. And kind of makes sense, too. Quite small, close to the star, makes sense. Low pressure, low gravity.
Anomaly detected.
Helheim is a post-garden world that once enjoyed an Earth-like oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere. It is still blessed with plentiful water, but a generally cold climate and extreme seasonal shifts, courtesy of a 38-degree axial tilt. Helheim is thought to be the homeworld of the Arthan, a spacefaring species which disappeared approximately 300,000 years ago. Precisely what happened to Helheim is still under debate. It appears a global extinction occurred, wiping out all native animal life forms more complex than zooplankton. Plant forms were not affected, but the lack of oxygen-breathing life caused oxygenation of the atmosphere. Plant life was reduced after lightning storms ignited global wildfires. The leading theory for Helheim's devastation is an out-of-control biological weapon. For this reason, landing is strictly prohibited. The corporations of Ilium have emplaced a network of quarantine satellites to dissuade would-be looters from landing in the crumbling cities. So, it's kind of a post-garden, but not exactly post-garden world? Question mark? Why would they think that it's a biological weapon? Though it is quite odd that everything would get wiped out except for plants. The distance is okay. A bit long period. Radius is small. Long day length. Low pressure. Quite cold. A bit low gravity.
Detected in orbit. All units report to ready stations for possible anti-invasion protocol. Repeat. Unidentified ship detected in orbit. All units report to ready stations for possible anti-invasion protocol. Detected in orbit. All units report to ready stations for possible anti-invasion...
I have found something.
Anomaly detected. Mercenary activity detected inside a mining facility on planet's surface. Facility confirmed registered to Eldfell Ashland Energy Corporation. Eclipse Presence confirmed. Distress beacon powered down at site. Sensors detect multiple spacefaring vessel launches from facility. That's weird for a planet that's supposed to be quarantined and with fears of there being a bioweapon having been deployed there. And it's strictly prohibited to land, so this would be pretty bad. But at the same time, there are Eclipse mercenaries there who have landed. So let's try and figure out what's going on here. But first, let's read the journal. And 7. Captured mining facility. Scans detect Eclipse mercenary activity inside a mining facility on planet Helheim. Investigate Eclipse Presence. Land on planet Helheim, where Eclipse seems to have taken residence in an abandoned mine. Alrighty then. We have our next assignment. But before we do that, let's read the rest of the messages. Maybe we can learn more about that planet. Fofo. Fofo is a rocky world with an atmosphere of oxygen and carbon dioxide. There are large craters scattered across its surface, obviously from hypervelocity kinetic impactors. Stretching between these locations are the shattered remains of magnetic levitation rail lines, which strongly suggests the craters represent the former locations of Artheni mining outposts or other settlements. The equatorial region contains an extensive network of canyons, formed by the planet's abundant liquid water. So, kinetic impactors here as well. Seen quite a bit of the modus operandi, don't we? Travel advisory. FO's atmosphere is approximately 41% carbon dioxide at sea level. This level is 4 to 6 times that necessary to render most species unconscious within a few minutes of breathing it. Breathing masks must be worn at all times when on the surface of FO. Okay, quite cold. Okay, radius is quite large. And they had maglev trains on the surface. Quite interesting to know that. Good pressure though, and good gravity. Galen is surrounded by an extensive ring system. The inner rings are composed of pulverized nano-manufactured carbon materials, thought to be the remains of an Artheni helium-3 mining infrastructure. The few pieces of larger debris found indicate a materials technology at least equal to the current galactic state-of-the-art. Interesting. Carbon materials from nanotechnology. The outer rings consist of water ice, silica dust, and the odd bit of rock. Analysis of the debris often show shock damage and evidence of rapid heating. Some parahistorical theorists insist that the outer rings represent debris from a moon or moons destroyed by mass accelerator bombardment. This has been rejected by every reputable xenoarchaeologist. While it is theoretically possible to destroy a small moon utterly with dreadnought bombardment, no species sees a compelling reason to do so. Yeah, no known species. Right, far away. Large, obviously. Alright, so let's see what this Eclipse Presence is all about. Especially in a world like this. And we know that Eclipse are mostly shield-based, but they do have some mechs as well. So, let's take... Not sure, actually. I guess Jacob would be a good choice. But it's been longer since we've went with Thane, so let's go with Thane. Okay, since they will have shields, let's change this to the Geth Pulse Rifle. And yeah, Viper, Tempest, Machine Gun. Yeah, that sounds good. This is interesting. I don't even remember this, actually. So all of these must be from that extinct culture. Either that or Eclipse. Obviously this landing pad is from Eclipse, as are these chest-high walls. See any enemies so far. This is the entrance to the mine. Oh! There are birds. There are not supposed to be any birds. It's supposed to be a place with only plants. Oh, inconsistencies. And there are beetles. Because why not? Oh, a cargo computer. Huh. I don't remember this at all. Yes, this is easily missed then. And before we use the cargo computer, let's make sure we're not missing something. Some plants. Why, hello there, Eclipse. Barriers. Well, I wonder.
Rerouting power to shield. High efficiency shot.
Nice. Still one left. That one doesn't seem to be moving. In that case...
Eclipse forever!
Yep, not a good idea. Vanguard's pretty good at close quarters combat. Alright. This... Yes. That... So instead of doing that, let's see what the cargo thing is all about. Elfil Ashland Energy Corporation. Shipping log. Cargo ship Ter Alan docked and received a large shipment of resources en route to a facility in the Dronic system. Ter Alan requested escort for the shipment, claiming pirate activity along the route. Dronic system. But this does not add anything to the journal. Interesting.
Time to die!
Not this time, no.
One falls. Kira be praised.
Okay, still more of them out there. Nice.
Fire. Emergency shields engaged.
Journal updated. Investigate Eclipse Presence. The mining facility on planet Helheim. We already got that part of the journal though, so it's a bit strange. Door to bypass. And some boxes. Well, let's go through the door and see what happens. Another low pressure. Bypass minigame. Okay, there we go. PDA. Eclipse here. Alert! We're under mercenary attack. Escort civilians to crew quarters. Then return to the work area to protect the main computer at all costs. Why were there civilians here? Why was there a mining facility here? Why are Eclipse here? That does not make any sense. Hey. Hello there, Eclipse Trooper. Oh, oops. Waited for
Target
the
contact. Reinforcing shields. Automating light weapon ring. Threat neutralized.
Why are there so many Solarians here? Nice. Interesting.
Rerouting power to shields.
Oh. That works. Still cannot save. So there must be more of them around here. But yeah, I totally don't remember this. Mainframe to hack, so that's their main computer. We can go through here. Because unlike in the final cutscene of the game, Shepard does not know how to jump. Oh, hello there.
Reinforcing shields. Target eliminated.
Nice. Huh. Okay.
Ready to engage.
Oh, that's a lot of enemies.
Here we go.
I think I should fall back a bit.
Some cover.
Probably even further.
Reinforcing shields.
Nobody is dust.
Threat neutralized.
Ah, there they are.
Target processed.
And now we can save, so it looks like the area is cleared. That's the mainframe that I can hack. There were also bridge controls somewhere around there. Quite the interesting infrastructure of that. Extinct race. And that's where all the enemies were. Oh, medkit, sweet. Need as many of those as possible for the next DLC. Might be full on power cells though. Yep. Okay, but where were the bridge controls? There. How do I get to those bridge controls? this. Well, that's interesting, but not terribly useful. Alrighty then. Let's just go and hack the mainframe and see what we can find. Oh, no, not here. Second log in the same log file. Encrypted data. Location of last report from Terra Alan. Encrypted.
Come on, Eclipse.
Huh. Again, I don't remember this, so I'm pretty sure I've never even seen this before.
Cover.
Oh.
Emergency shields engaged.
Target.
That's a lot of enemies. Oh dear.
Emergency shields engaged.
What is going on? Why are the Eclipse en masse here? Also, refined palladium that I did not take. Captain Vorleon? Phew. Well, that vanguard, not great.
Good shot.
Okay. Aha, decryption complete. Well, that was quite the fight. This was on Insanity, we would have been in a lot of trouble. Okay, before we examine the mainframe, let's get our ore. 2000 palladium. Probably not useful anymore, but hey. So I guess those explosive containers would have been useful to leave after all. Decrypted data. The decrypted data is incomplete. Further details are required to trace the Terralan's location. Data has been sent to Cerberus for further analysis. Alliance, not Cerberus. And that's it. Recover data referring to the Terralan's location. More decryption needed. Now the question is, did ED manage to decrypt it? Let's find out. Oh, actually there's a lot of stuff. Huh. But no decryption. We will go through all of that stuff next time then. And explore some more worlds. See you then. Later.